What's going on, everybody? Today on the Creative Juice Show, I'm going to be talking to you about cameras. More specifically, I'm going to talk to you about the cameras that we use on the Creative Juice Show and why we use them. So to start off, the camera that you're seeing right now, this is the Panasonic GH5. I love this camera. It's very affordable for, I guess, higher end shooters. It's very versatile. You can shoot 4K at 60 frames a second, full HD up to 180 frames a second, and has a really beautiful image quality even in 1080p. Okay, so cameras are great and all, but what I really want to talk to you about is the story. Story is the most important out of everything. You can have a $50,000 camera and you can have a really crappy video. The story or the content is king, and I learned that once from a YouTuber, Casey Neistat. You probably heard of him. He has always shot on a really cheap camera, just really run and gun. He's never done anything like crazy creative, except for his stories are really creative. The stories that he brings out of his vlogs, the stories that he tells, they're all very compelling, and that's why he's built such a huge following of over 10 million subscribers now. And it's all because of the story. Half the time on the Creative Juice Show, we're pulling our phones out and we're filming with our phones. I have an iPhone 5, and I mean, this thing, it's an old phone, but it captures the story, and that's the most important thing. Okay, as I was editing, I forgot to mention one thing that I meant to bring up, and that is, yes, there is a time and a place for the epic buttery goodness that comes from an amazing video camera and very high quality video, such as our Creative Juice episode intro and outro. We did that and spent a lot of time during the edit to grab attention and I guess make ourselves seem somewhat legit, right? But overall, story is king, and that's why we shoot most of our stuff on our phones. So in your own business, you don't need to go out and buy a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 camera and a bunch of lenses and a bunch of all this nice equipment. If you're planning on pumping out a ton of video content, yes, I would recommend you might get a Canon camera or a Sony with good autofocus that you can just set up, hit record, and go. But for the most part, if you're just wanting to capture stories, which remember is king, I would just use your phone. Simplest, easiest way to start. You can even download iMovie or other editing apps. You can edit right on your phone, and away you go.
Like this if you like it, comment for the community, and share if you really care.